Montana has finally decided to start acting like it's winter. It has been so crazy these last few weeks. It's just not been the typical cold. Yesterday it was raining and like 40 degrees, which is wild for this time of year. But today we had a huge temperature change. It has dropped down into the single digits and the wind is blowing. The real feel is like 10 below. So I am heading down to the barn. I'm gonna add Junior's neck piece to his blanket just for an added piece of warmth for him, and check on him, give him some Nutribac, make sure that he's doing okay, pick out his feet, all of that good stuff. Probably I might turn him out for a little bit, but I don't know. It's so cold that the ground in the arena will freeze, and it's not always good conditions to do that when it's this cold. But I'm gonna go down and check on him. I had to stop at the C-store and grab myself some breakfast first, though. I haven't eaten anything yet today. I don't know about you guys, but like for us, the couple of days after Christmas, it's like we have no groceries in the house, especially since we don't host. So we don't usually end up getting home with a ton of leftovers. But it just, all the grocery shopping that we did before Christmas was for Christmas. And then it's like we have no groceries. And so I do need to go grocery shopping, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that today because we do have a winter storm warning. So I don't know that it will be a good idea to drive all the way to town. I do have to go check on Junior though. That is a non-negotiable. So let's go do that. The bank says it's 4 below, and that wouldn't be real feel. That would just be the temperature, which means it's probably real feel more like 15 below. Oh, good old gas station breakfast. Not what I wanted, but it was what they had. Croissant with a sausage and some egg and cheese. And then I also grabbed a protein bar because, you know, healthy stuff, whatever. Okay, let's go. Luckily, the roads don't seem to be icy at all. Like I said, it did rain yesterday, but I think it just dried off soon enough before it got cold to where it didn't freeze and cause sheets of ice. We did have freezing rain a couple of days ago. Christmas morning was so icy. It was bad. Just like in our backyard, we have a walkway between the back door and our garage. And it was just a skating rink. It was so incredibly icy. But right now it's just snow. It looks like we could get some drifts building up with the wind blowing it, but it's dry, so it's really not a big deal. I have been taking a break from riding, but depending on what the weather does these next, you know, few weeks, this is usually when it turns really bad. But we'll see what it does, and I'm gonna start getting Junior legged back up and start kind of getting mentally prepared for the 2026 barrel racing season. I have a lot of big plans. We ended last year on a really good note, but I do need to sit down and kind of map out when I expect certain barrel races to be. I would really like to go to some bigger ones this year. Barrel races tend to kick back up around here in March, April. It really just depends on the weather more than anything. If they feel like they're gonna have enough people show up, you know, with the roads, if they're gonna be clear, and if they can water the arenas and all of that kind of stuff. But you know, just kind of start getting ready for that stuff so that we can get going, be in as good a shape as possible. But I'm gonna sit down and start mapping out our barrel races for next year, kind of get a feel for which of the bigger ones I want to go to. I haven't gone to any of the really big barrel races in a while, except for state finals, just because it's so close to where I live. But I would like to travel further this year. The kids are getting older, they're easier to take with me. Since I've gone back to work, you know, I've got a little more disposable income, and also we ended last year on a really good note. I feel like we figured some stuff out with Junior and his stifle injections and getting our second barrel cleaned up. So last year with, that would be fantastic. And I'd really like to start going to some of those bigger races. It's been my dream for a long time to win a buckle. So I have to go to a lot of those bigger races to have an opportunity at that. And yeah, just kind of sit down and figure out where all we want to go and kind of start mapping out a budget for what entry fees are going to cost, all of that good stuff. Most of the videos that I've been doing on here have just been shorts, and it's largely stuff that I'm just bringing over from my TikTok account. That's where I'm probably the most active. But I've just noticed that you guys seem to really like the shorts, and you know, I thought maybe if you guys were interested, I could start working on bringing more longer form content to you guys here on this platform. But if I do that, I am likely going to be investing in some kind of like GoPro or other, you know, more vlogging type camera, something where it's, you know, I'm not just filming in the vertical all the time. So if that's something you guys want to see, if you want more long form content from me on here, please let me know, because it's hard to kind of make that investment without, you know, knowing if it's something you guys want to see from me. So let me know in the comments. Tell me if you want more long form content, and if so, what you want to see. Like, what more do you want to see from me besides what I bring on the shorts? Because it would just be a lot more work in terms of the editing aspect of it, I feel like. I guess it would just depend, but I feel like if I went that route, I would probably start off by only doing one video maybe every 2 weeks or something like that. Right now, there's honestly not a lot to film, just because when we get weather like this, I'm not riding. It's too cold to ride, and filming while I ride is one of the harder things for me to do. I'm by myself. I don't have anyone with me to help film, and the lights in the arena where I ride aren't great for videography. They are just not good enough lights to where I can get quality content. So it's a little tough. I try to bring quality content to my pages, and I know people want to see the riding, but that's the hardest thing for me to get good video of. So it's just a little tough. But if you guys are interested in seeing it, I will take the steps to bring more of that to you. So let me know. All right, I made it to the barn. I was very frustrated. I could not find the battery pack for my heated vest, but I have all the layers on, and I honestly probably won't be here that long anyway. So we're gonna go check on Junior, put the neck piece on his blanket, give him some Nutrabac, and probably pick out his feet, and I don't know. That might be all. The other difficult thing about filming at the barn, especially when it's cold like this, is my phone dies because it gets too cold. And so that would be another thing where if I was to start doing this, another reason I would need to invest in like a GoPro, something that is more able to film under harsh winter conditions, because my phone says it doesn't want to do that. The truck said it was 3 degrees here. Usually it's a little warmer down here at the barn than it is at home. Not today, apparently. Hey, buddy. Oh, you've got ice balls in your feet. Yeah, I was worried about that. All right, Bubba, let's get you out of here and get you taken care of, okay? Get your feet picked out, all that good stuff. How are you? Hi, how are you this morning, huh? Oh my goodness. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, good boy. There you go. So normally I pull shoes with my horses during the winter, but Junior is a little different. We just haven't made it to his next rotation yet with the farrier, but we're gonna put pads on him. He in the past has gotten really tender-footed during the winter time when the ground in his stall thaws out and it like squishes around and it makes the mounds, you know, and those mounds freeze and they basically turn into rocks. And since he's in a stall and run and not out on pasture, it's not like he can really choose to get away from it. So in the past, he has abscessed on me and just gotten bruises on his soles during the wintertime. So I do put pads on him. He is due pretty soon to see the farrier, but he does still have shoes on, which means he gets ice balled up in his feet when we get weather like this. This hoof pick, it's called the Ultimate Hoof Pick. It's my favorite hoof pick ever, which I never thought that I would like have a favorite hoof pick, but for me, having, you know, smaller hands, the handle is just super ergonomic. It's really easy for me to hold. I get a lot of leverage with this. And you can see that pick is just, it's so strong. It's got a great shape to it. But if you live somewhere where you're picking rocks out of your horse's feet or mud that gets packed in super hard or ice, this thing is the ticket. Or if you have like weak wrists or your hands are kind of weak, I just get so much more leverage with this. And this isn't sponsored or anything, but like, it seriously is a great hoof pick. And this one I think is their junior version. They've got their full-size version, which has a bigger handle on it. So if you have bigger hands, you might like that one better. But especially for the ladies, like for kids even, this is the one that you want. It is so tough. I've had it for years. I also like that the bright pink is easy to spot if I drop it in the sand. But highly, highly recommend getting one of these. Yeah, we're gonna put your neck piece on. Oh, that sounds weird. You're okay. You're all right. Good boy. There we go. This is NutriBac PH, and I'm gonna give him a couple of shots of this. It's basically a gut balancing flushing product. It helps them keep eating and drinking when we have huge temperature swings, which can be really stressful for horses. Like I said, it was in the like mid 30s, 40s yesterday, and now we're into the single digits / below zero. So one thing that's super important, especially when it gets cold like this, is that they drink enough water. Otherwise, you do risk impaction colic when it's cold. One way, the main way that horses stay warm is by eating a lot of forage. Like they just stick their heads in their hay bale, and that's where they want to be, because burning up that hay in their hind gut helps them create body heat. Now, Junior, since he's blanketed, doesn't need that as much. It does help prevent like some of that overeating that can lead to compaction, but they can tend to want to avoid their water when the water is super cold. And this encourages him to keep eating and drinking. I love giving this stuff whenever we have a really stressful event. If I'm hauling him, I give it to him after we make a barrel run. If we're going to the vet, anything like that, it just helps to neutralize that acid in their stomach, help prevent ulcers. It also will flush out the bad bacteria in their gut. This is good for a ton of things. I highly recommend that you go and check out their website. It'll explain a lot more, but I have seen this pull horses out of stress colic before. It is a fantastic product. I basically consider it to be part of my vet kit. But this is one of the times that I use it, is when we have these big weather changes that can be super stressful. Oh, buddy, your mane is a mess. Ugh. There we go. So Junior's a super picky horse with everything, including treats. Like, he will not eat an apple out of my hand, but he really likes these knicker makers that Purina makes. So he gets his own special treats because it's the only ones he'll eat. Hey. Yeah. Hi. Oh my goodness. Hello. All right, let's go maybe throw you an extra flake of hay and call it good, huh, bud? Oh, got the crazy eye going. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You got some cookies stuck in your teeth or what? Okay. Love you too. So I tried giving him some flavored water the other day. I got a sample of this really cool flavor additive from a company through TikTok, and he hasn't tried it, just giving it to him after turning him out. So I thought, well, I'll leave it in there with him and see if he tries it. It's frozen solid. He has fresh water in his automatic water over there. But yeah, he's just that picky. Like, it's, I think, carrot. It was like dried powdered carrot and cinnamon and maybe oats or something like that. Nope, didn't drink it. Not even a little bit. So I was hoping he would like it because it would be one more tool I could use to make sure he drinks enough water when it's cold like this. But we're just going to have to stick with the NutriBac because then I know he gets it. And I know it works and I trust it. So he's just a super picky horse. All right, gotta pick up all my stuff and put it away. This has to go in the warm room so it doesn't freeze. Oops. There we go. Here we go. Fingers are already freezing cold. So those are the treats that he likes. Purina Knicker Makers. I think they come in a couple of different options, flavors or whatever, but I get the purple bag. And that's the one he likes. And it looks like he's out of grain, so I'll take that home and get him refilled on that. That's really about all I can do when it is cold like this. There's just only so much you can do. But picking out his feet to make sure he doesn't get stone bruises and he's not walking on those balls of ice. And the NutriBac so that I know he's going to drink enough water and not just eat too much hay. Those are big. Just that right there can make a huge difference. Oh, that wind is blowing and it is sharp. My phone's pretty cold too. I don't think it would have lasted a whole lot longer out there. Oh, I really wish I'd found the battery for my heated vest today because yikes, it is cold. My truck says it's 2 degrees now. But again, with that wind, it feels colder, which is why I put the neck guard on him with his blanket just to make sure he's got a windbreak all around him. When it gets this cold, a little extra help doesn't hurt. So I know that he's good. He looks healthy. His legs looked good. Got his feet picked out. Got him some NutriBac. Made sure he was going to be warm enough. I need to check the weather. I don't know if it's supposed to stay this cold for a few days or what to expect. So I just checked the weather and this is not supposed to last very long. We're supposed to have a high of like 36 degrees for today, which I don't see that happening. And tomorrow a low of 1 below. And then we get right back into 20 degrees with highs in the 40s for the coming week. So I'll probably have to come back down and take the neck piece off of his blanket in a couple days, which is no big deal. I'm glad that this isn't lasting too very long. It is just miserable trying to do things at the barn when it is this cold. We really need the snow more than anything. And we got a little bit, I don't know if you can really see out here, but it's just barely a layer of snow on the ground, not even a ½ inch. And we really need a lot more than that. It is so dry here right now and has been for a while. But we still have a lot of winter ahead of us, so anything can happen. It is Montana. If you guys liked this longer form video, you want to see more of this kind of thing, please let me know. I know I filmed this one in vertical and that's not ideal for this platform, but like I said, if you like this, I will look into investing into better camera equipment and making more of this type of content for you and doing it properly. So please let me know in the comments and like this video. Be sure to subscribe. all of that, but let me know what you want to see and I will bring more of it to you guys. So thank you all so much for coming along with me here in the cold, and I'll see you next time.